I'm not going to talk about art. I'm going to take this opportunity to reveal my musical talents. No. What? Okay, so I am an artist. Yay. But I'm also an illustrator, and I don't have an art degree or an illustration degree. I have a graphic design degree. I went to school for graphic design in Canada, and there was this old Polish professor who drilled into us modernism, international modernism, strip everything down to the bare bones, no culturally specific details at all. And I guess that worked because that's what I've been doing ever since. I can't stop. So I started working for graphic design for a while, switched to illustration in 1991, which is a really cool job. As a freelance illustrator, you get assignments from magazines, newspapers, sometimes corporations, not oil companies, I don't say do those. And they give you a story, like a draft before it comes out. And then you just read it and read between the lines, and you do some sketches, and you come up with a drawing that will communicate the most interesting part of that story, the part that I like, to the public. And you're really an assistant to the writer. You're helping to communicate what they're trying to say. And then they reject your idea and tell you to do something else. So I did that for a while, and I continued in a minimal flat style, which was super popular in the 90s. And then it took a nosedive after .com bust, and nobody wanted it for 10 years. But now they want it again. Yay. Flat is in, and I'm profiting from that. So I wanted to be an artist because that's what I think I really am. So I just decided to be an artist one day. And what I did is I just took my working method that I use in illustration and I applied it to art. I didn't copy artists. I copied myself as an illustrator. I have an assignment, I have a deadline, and I have a story. My assignments don't come to me, I have to make them up. And basically, an assignment is some sort of subject matter and a set of limitations. If there's no limitations, there's an infinite number of possibilities, and you just can't start at all. So, for an example, one of my assignments I gave myself was to do a show about invertebrate marine life, jellyfish, octopuses, and squids. And that worked out. Calamari. So that was cool. And then deadlines, where do those come from? Nobody's making me do anything. I just don't do anything. I just sit around and watch TV. So I'm the worst procrastinator you've ever seen. Seriously, I'm the worst. Right, Ginger? We dated for 9 years before we got married. How do you make yourself do a deadline for art? You go and you tell artisans you're going to put on a show in May. And it's going to be about mom and baby animals. And then if you don't show up with a bunch of art, you're basically, they will never talk to you again. So that's a pretty tough deadline. It's actually worse deadline than like Business Week because they have a flexibility. Artisans is not. So that worked out great. Where do the stories come from? Well, I didn't do art right away because I didn't know what to do it about, and I was kind of, I don't know what to say. I don't have a story. I'm just like this very white bread Canadian guy. I'm not interesting enough. So I started volunteering at the Marine Mammal Center in about 2002, and that became the biggest adventure of my life because I go out to some really remote beaches and I catch big angry sea lions with a net, and I get bit. So I've been doing that for 13 years, and that's amazing. Animals are amazing. Animals are the original superheroes. Superman is an idiot. Animals are better. Animals can fly, okay? Superman is imaginary, okay? He's not real. Animals can actually fly, and they can see in the dark with sonar, like bats and stuff. So why not do animals? Animals rock. And a lot of people do exotic, brightly colored tropical animals, so I didn't want to do that. So I'm doing brown animals. And sometimes I do gray animals. But they have amazing abilities, right? So look at this guy. I wish we had the slideshow. But the sea otter, for people who don't know, some sea otters eat a lot of urchins, and their teeth, their teeth turn purple. And then urchins eat kelp. Okay, so kelp is awesome. We don't want all the kelp to get eaten up because it's a habitat for a lot of species, not just the otters. All the otters like it. When an otter takes a nap on the ocean, he wraps himself up in kelp so he doesn't float away. But if we didn't have otters, they're going away. Otters are going away if we don't take care of them and do something about it. If we didn't have otters, then we will have to eat all the urchins ourselves, and then we will have purple teeth. Is that what you want, Matthew? No. Zen seal. Can everybody see that? Can you see that? I'm not going to talk about that because they got the time card. You're going to have to ask me about it later. I'm going to tell you about octopus. Octopuses are amazing. Octomoms are amazing. Not the one in the news, the real one. Octomoms lay eggs once in their life, and then they guard the eggs 24 hours a day. They don't even eat. They starve to death slowly, guarding the eggs. Where are the octomen? Are they in their octoman cave watching octosports, Matthew? I wrote that joke. So, wrap it up. Assignments, deadlines, and stories. That's how I get my art done. Stories are amazing. I found animals to be an amazing source of stories. I care about them. So when I have an art show, people who are similar come to me and I tell them my stories. They tell me their stories, and we make a connection. And it's that kind of connection that I make with people that is the reason that I continue to do art.